I just make dollars, I don't make deals. I've been going hard in the paint, still blowing kush clouds till I can't feel like. Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like. 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like. 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right?
Welcome, everyone. You're now listening to the Say It With Your Chest podcast, and I'm your host, Mr. Light-Skin Keith Sweat. Thank you to everyone for all the love and support. Shout out to YouTube. Definitely loving all the success I'm receiving from that platform. Please continue to subscribe. Please continue to leave comments. We appreciate all of the feedback. Hit me directly and let me know the things that you're enjoying the most. Also, don't be afraid to repost on social media. Share my stuff. That let me know that you're liking some of the clips that I'm creating. So I appreciate everything that's been going on so far. I definitely appreciate everyone who already doing some of these things. So thank you again. Also, we have new merch. Now, we definitely have the hoodies. Please continue to support. A few people have grabbed some hoodies. I wear my hoodie all the time. I got them in all the flavors, and I've been getting a lot of love. Now, I would like a little more love in the buying department, but at least continue giving the compliments. So I appreciate it. You got to support yourself more than you looking for others to support, and then it'll catch on. If you liking it, you wearing it, then others will do so as well. So I appreciate that. In addition, we got the playlist on Tidal. We got the slaps. That's our hip hop. And we have the Love Up On Me, which is our R&B. Now, new music has been coming out lately, and I have been extremely happy. We just had that new surprise drop from 21 Savage. Do you have a dark side? Now, a lot of y'all want to act like y'all do, but is it also in the type of music you listen to? Now, I like 21 Savage. For some reason, he has some of the best producing on his albums thus far. And I checked out this album as soon as it came out, and I really enjoyed it a lot. Now, he definitely gave us a Drake slap. Now, again, a lot of y'all still be hating. Now, Noah says he don't like that kind of Drake. I don't know. He hate on everything I like. He gonna laugh at that, but it's kind of true, but then he take it back. But it is what it is. I know we gonna agree to disagree all our lives. But the Drake song is pretty nice. I'm not saying it's all that, but it was refreshing. And again, I like a lot more of the other 21 Savage songs than I like that song. But it goes with the motion. That's his friend. They've been loyal to each other. I like that. See, again, you need brothers, real brothers, not none of that fake brothers. So keep that in mind. Now, somebody else who was supporting Drake, but got their own stuff going on, Miss Summer Walker. Now, you should be supporting your new album. We should be hearing more about the beautiful songs that are on the R&B playlist, the Love Up On Me playlist that I've created on Tidal, okay? So you should be checking that out. We should be bopping to that new summer album. We shouldn't be hearing about all the new drama, all the new news that don't have anything to do with the album, okay? You talk about you come off tour now, you was thinking about getting a rib taken out because you love having surgery. You got a few other things done, but that's the piece that caught my attention, because now I'm not hip to people getting surgeries, but I was wondering to myself, without doing any research, because we not doing any research, but what kind of benefit do you receive by removing a rib? And also, how expensive is that, But I guess she got some doctors that are loyal to her pockets. As you see, they don't care if they doing surgery on people. A lot of people be having too many surgeries. I don't know. I guess with money, we can do whatever we want with our own bodies. People shouldn't be able to restrict us and tell us what we can and can't do. But, you see how people really feel about themselves. Sometimes you see how insecure people really are. Everybody don't have high self-esteem. So sometimes if you look a little closer in the music, then you might understand a little bit more as to why people be going through things. People be making money, and you be thinking money gonna solve some things for people because you don't have some money. That's how it really go. Because you be like, oh, if I had that, I would be all right. Well, you don't have that, so you don't know yet. But the people who have that, for some reason, don't be looking like they be all right. So I don't know. I think there's something that comes with everything. But Summer, we're going to keep you in our prayers a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit, because, we want everybody to do well. And it just seemed like you crying out for a little help. That's all, Not too much, but just a little bit. Now, somebody else who crying out for a little bit of help, and he always crying out for some help, Ray J. Hey, bro, we know you love your sister, okay? We know you are talented in many ways. We're not going to talk about how, but to be able to do some of the things you've done, we have to show a little love. Just a little, not a lot, just a little. But you be doing some antics that we don't always agree with. Now, we might agree with what you're talking about, but we don't agree with how you go about it. And you don't be making your sister look good, okay? Now, I don't know if she be making her own self look good all the time, because we all contribute to our own downfall. But I like how Monica came out there and took your phone away, bro. That was funny. She should have kept it, but that was funny, okay? And respectfully, you need to do better, bro. Deep down, you may need some rehab, some counseling, and you may need to stay off of social media. But see, if they don't monetize social media, people won't stay off social media. Somebody else I wish we don't necessarily give some attention to, but I want to shine some different light on the situation some more. Handy and Todd. I like people who put their relationships out there. Not because I'm going to do mine like that, but I like those who do, because it comes with good and bad. And I think we have to talk about both, because we're not asking you to be famous. We're not asking you to put your business out there, but you made a choice. And so we're going to talk about it as lightly as we choose. And I choose a little lightly in this department. Hey, y'all not supporting Todd at all. And I know this is Say It With Your Chest podcast. We don't care who like what we say. We believe in it, and we gonna say it. And hey, Todd, you should leave, but we understand what's going on. We understand a man standing up for some rights. Now, they say you don't deserve nothing, bro. Now, I don't understand the hypocrites, okay? I just don't get it. I'm sorry. I don't understand how women technically can receive everything and don't necessarily have to do anything just because they're part of the equation. And I can't help that we got beautiful women out here who are doing very well with themselves, moving up in their careers, becoming successful, and not holding it against the man that they choose to want to be with. I commend that as, hey, I commend that, is what I'm saying. Nothing wrong with that. So I feel like, because women are allowed to do that, why can't men do that if that's the agreement that that couple chose, okay? Now, you saw in all those old clips, Candy wanted that prenup signed. Now, he didn't have to sign, and he signed, okay? Now, again, when the ladies sign some things, sometimes they able to say they was pressured, they were under duress. I don't know. But sometimes there's still some ways to get out of some things, okay? So I'm not saying he wrong, but I'm not saying y'all should be coming at him like that. And all the celebrity ladies been supporting Candy. They know she was famous before she met him. And because of that, if she's saying she don't want to give up no coins, then I guess she shouldn't have to give up any. But again, like I said, that's almost the situation for every man, okay? Because, maybe not me, but I'm saying for every other man, that's usually the situation. They coming in being the breadwinner. And I know a lot of breadwinner be having to split that money up. And she wasn't a part of none of that schooling, none of that hard work. When she came around, she actually kind of got in the way a little bit. And he still made a way. Okay. I know a lot of people like that. And I know a lot of people still having to rebuild, recoup, as we had Mr. Recoup come out with a song. Check it out. Mr. Recoup on that 21 Savage album. Hey, fellas, be careful. It's a dangerous game out here. I'm not saying you should be taken from a woman, but I'm saying you should be smart with your money. That's all I'm saying. Be careful, because you having to give up a lot more than you may receive if the shoe is on the other foot. I don't know. Keep that in mind. Not that you go into things like that, but you get insurance for your car. You get health insurance. You get life insurance. I mean, it sounds like this is going to affect your health and your life. And might take your car away, so might affect your insurance or your premium on your automobile, okay? So I don't know. Keep that in mind, but you might want to protect yourself. You might just want to play some things a little more safer just to make sure that, you don't hurt yourself. That's all. You don't want to hurt nobody else either. Make sure you providing. Wait, Speedy say, let the Lord provide. Okay, that's God's problem for others a little bit. But you want to help in some areas. You want to contribute. Provide sounds strong. Provide sounds only you. Okay, sound like daddy. And a lot of ladies don't even like saying that. So we can't be paying and providing, ain't nobody, saying daddy. And why should you even be called daddy anyway? That's not your kid. Okay, so don't act like it. Don't like someone to do so, as they will start hitting you with some requirements that come with that. So keep that in mind. Be called your name. That's it. Sir, Mr. That's it. Keep all that in mind, please, but stay in your lane a little bit. And also, hey, Mr. Todd, maybe she was a little bit out of your league. I don't know. Definitely find people in your league, and then you automatically eliminate these things. If we both bringing in equal things, then we're not necessarily thinking about who has what, who's leaving with what, if things don't. You're not worried about that because we're equal. We're going to divide up whatever need to be divided, and we're going to play a little more fairly because nobody was in this to benefit off of someone else. Ooh, that sounds good. That's what I like. That's what I like. Okay. Equal on your playing field. Don't mean you don't still have to do a little bit more. Don't mean if it run its course that you're not still a little more on the short end of the stick. But it's way better than not. And that's how you got to look at it. That's that insurance. Somebody on your level. A lot of y'all looking to help somebody, and you need help too. Okay. But take that how you want to take that. Nah, I ain't gonna hold you. I need help too. I'm a very holy spiritual guy. However, I feel like sometimes I have an alter ego. And my alter ego came out with a new album. Okay. Now, I've been listening to the Game music for a very long time. He a little older than me, but we close. And I like his music. Now, I'm not from LA, but I feel like he give you a little plethora of things. He give you some LA vibes, but he's well-rounded. That's why I've liked his music, because when I've heard other LA artists, sometimes the whole album sounds super LA, and that's just not where I'm from, so that's not what I'm used to. But I respect the difference. Now, I don't mind a little bit, but I don't need the whole thing. And the Game gave us a nice little mixtape. This not even an album. He said the new album coming out next year, top of next year. But he gave us a little sample of some music, and I believe this album might be the best album that came out all year. Everything was great. Every song was consistent. I like the bops on there. He didn't really have too many features. It was him rapping. And the Game can rap. You can't take that away from him. You might not like some of the other stuff he be doing, but the Game can rap. And I listened to his interview with Shannon Sharp, and I like everything about the interview. Again, when you like somebody, dive a little deeper in and see if you really enjoy the type of music, if you can relate, if you really like what they standing for. And I just like his growth. Again, I like his maturity. See, I be trying to grow too. I be trying to mature too. I think I got a dark side sometimes. Not that dark, but I think, that's my alter ego. I'm going to give me a grill. I used to have them braids. I felt like I was the game. I don't have that many tattoos, but we going to get a few more. We was just waiting for some things to shake, but that's our first purchase come 2026. All I'm saying is check out this new album, okay? Now, I don't necessarily need the DJ drama added on, but it don't hurt. And he don't overdo it, but I really like this album. This a little more for the fellas, I believe. So, hey fellas, check out something solid. I've been in the gym a little bit more. I've been consistent, getting that workout in, and I've been playing this and that 21 Savage. The beats been on point, and these fellas saying something. Again, check out what they saying and see if you could relate. I could relate a little bit. Not all the way, but a little bit. Now, something that the game said he could relate to what T-Pain said when he was on the Shannon Sharp show. He said, hey, I kind of agree. They don't really be having no real brothers out here in the music industry. And, some people really be trying to stand on that loyalty and some people don't. I do. Now, I hold all my friends accountable. It is what it is, whether they ask for it or not. And, I'm okay with us not talking. If that's where we at, if people not able to meet where we need to meet at, it is what it is. Now, shout out to all my friends, because we got a bunch of them out there. Happy holidays. All that's coming up. But I like how T-Pain added on in his interview when he said, hey, these people are fake and phony. I don't know if T-Pain been waiting to say this on a big platform, but he definitely let the world know DJ Khaled ain't what's up. He said he ain't the most loyal, he ain't the most consistent. So, it's going to be interesting to see how things go. Now, I do know that DJ Khaled feel like he got some better brothers than T-Pain. He like Jay-Z. He like Mr. Lenny S. Now, I believe that sometimes you start to upgrade your friends, right? And you see people who able to do a little bit more and it make you feel better than sometimes the history you have with others. Because sometimes that history just come with a lot more drama than it come with benefits. But you know somebody. You know what I mean? You got to have value, not just in the time. I told one of the homies not too long ago that, I like to talk. That's a part of my standards in my friendship. Although we still friends, but if we not chatting on a regular, and I'm not talking about no everyday, but if we not keeping in touch, we not sharing some shit, we not helping each other from a communication standpoint a little bit, I understand what level we on in our friendship because that's a requirement of mine. I look for some conversation with my friend. That's it. And I do have that. But I also know when we not having it, that sometimes we got other things we got going on. So I hold everybody accountable just like I hold myself because we all have things we be going through, just like me. I'll stay with some stuff. But I don't always need to lead with that. I don't always need to hold that against somebody else. So, that's my own burden to bear a little bit more in how I see it. I shouldn't penalize other people for something that I have going on that they don't have anything to do with. So, to each, but what I do to myself is what I require others to do unto me. So we're going to keep that in mind. Now, some of y'all a little worse than me, okay? Now, I thought I was petty growing up. I think I'm still a little petty, but I have matured. Somebody who has not matured as much as maybe some people think they have. And when you have a lot of money, I don't think you're forced to have to mature anytime soon. And that is Mr. 50 Cent. Hey, bro, you won't let some things go until you ready. And I understand that. I really do. Now, see, y'all don't like to look at it from that standpoint a little bit, but I do. But in that, I still think you're wrong, bro. I still think you're hitting a brother while he down. Paul. And although that might be your enemy of some sort, it's not for real, okay? It's on some BS as you've alluded to in some of these interviews. You just playing games. And you've been through some things too, and karma comes back around for everybody. So we're going to keep that in mind as well. Now, I know everybody believe in a different kind of God, but God don't like ugly, okay? And it's a little more ugly, bruh. but you was able to obtain some footage. You was able to get with the right people. You see him on top right now. You was able to get with Netflix. Netflix is running the game. And you released this documentary about your boy P. Diddy. Now, I refuse to watch it. Okay? Sorry. I told y'all I'm kind of loyal out here, but it's not that I'm loyal to Mr. P. Diddy at all. I don't know him. I'm not trying to know him. I don't want to go to the parties when he come out because they still gonna have parties. But I don't want to go. I'm just saying that I don't like how a lot of people have turned their back on. And I want to respectfully just be quiet. I want to respectfully mind my business. I don't want to add more fuel to the fire because it could be me. It could be somebody I know who could be going through something similar. And I don't think I need to be supporting things that's not encouraging good things that's going to support him, okay? And who don't make mistakes, who don't do some things wrong. And I believe everything they say happened in the video a little bit. I don't know. Everybody keep telling me to watch it. And I keep saying, well, I don't need to watch it to see something that I already kind of believe. I already know that in my heart, I believe what they've been saying for a while. He's not been a great guy. Seemed like he's been a little more selfish as he's made a little more money. Now, you see, that's a common theme with a lot of people in the world. Not just him, but a lot of people who's made money has made a lot of decisions that wasn't necessarily at the benefit for other people as much. Now, seemed like he was taking advantage. So that's even stronger. Again, he deserved what he's going through as you see he's done some harm to others. Now, again, seemed like others was making some choices too. And I don't think you can make a choice once you see some things and then still be able to come out later and say, oh, I was a victim. Okay. I think the first time it happens, you can come on out, you can say whatever you need to say, and you're right. You was the victim, he was the bad person. Let's convict. Let's send him to jail. That's how it should go. But after the first time, and then you stayed and you took the money and the gifts and you kept coming back and, you let them bruises heal and, you wasn't really complaining. You got used to it. Whatever it was. Then you took ownership. You signed a contract a little bit. And I think a lot of people did some of that now. Seemed like Diddy didn't sign a contract with the photo guy, the media guy who he had documenting all of the video that 50 was able to obtain. Okay. Now, first off, Mr. P. Diddy, you already an evil guy to even want to be documenting a lot of these things, in my opinion. Some things you need to turn the camera off, okay? I get it, that's the world we live in, and you gotta be careful. Now, hey, 50 Cent, you gonna come at anybody who you feel like you are bigger and better than. And I get it, but sometimes it's not worth it, bro. You got Marlon Wayans making a few little comments in support of Diddy. Again, I guess anybody who says something, and I thought he was respectful, but I guess anybody who says something might get a little more retaliation from 50 Cent. Now, this ain't no job where you got rights and they won't retaliate at your job, okay? That's not it, okay? 50 could do all the retaliating and he gonna make it as public as he need to be. And, luckily Marlon is a comedian. Marlon can do some things, I believe, a lot funnier than 50 can. Now, sometimes you can't do the talking if you got skeletons in your closet too. See, everybody want to look in the mirror. Everybody want to see what somebody else doing wrong and think they can judge. Think they have room to critique, to offer strong feelings towards. I see it every day. People who be doing some of the same type of things, but be judging the celebrities out here who you see what they be doing. I'm like, if we put some cameras on you, a lot of people not gonna like some things. That's how the game goes. Like, people think they're a lot more perfect than they really are. We all make mistakes. We all are selfish at times. It's just you gotta stay in control of those things if you want to say you're being good to others. 50 Cent not trying to be good to others, so keep that in mind, y'all. Don't mess with 50 Cent. Now, I told y'all Netflix trying to do some things, and they said this 50 Cent documentary about P. Diddy is at the top of the charts right now, dominating things. They said, we gonna treat ourselves. We're gonna go ahead and buy Warner Brothers. We want to have HBO and HBO Max on our platform, and we don't mind spending a few little dollars right now during this holiday season. I say, wow, what a big purchase. They trying to take over. That's all you kept seeing in the news. But quickly you hear some pushback, okay? I know y'all don't want to talk about that. It didn't got quiet. Paramount said, hey, hold up. Wait a minute. And we're going to put 20 million more on top of that, just in case y'all think we playing. We want our bid to get some consideration too, because we've been trying to get it. And they ain't want to talk to us. Now all of a sudden Netflix want to come in at a lower offer than what we was coming in at. And all of a sudden they gonna get the bid? Nah, we not with that. Keep that in mind. Big business. A lot of y'all can't relate. A lot of y'all don't even do little business well. You got to start there to really understand. But there's big people problems here. This is a takeover. They trying to monopolize the industry. Netflix trying to go live in everything. And they trying to dive in a little more into the movie making business. Okay, so maybe if we take over, a big industry, a big network like Warner Brothers, then maybe we can go ahead and build some things up. See, y'all thought the Warner Brothers station didn't have no TV shows and they wasn't making no money, and look what all they own. See, they don't mind taking an L when they taking all these W's. That's for tax purposes, okay? That's what I want to let you know, but not too much right now. We'll come with that a little later next year. As a lot of y'all probably still ain't paid y'all taxes that y'all owe from last year, okay? A lot of y'all on that payment plan, so we gonna still give y'all a little more time. But hey, Netflix, we gonna see if y'all gonna up that money. Y'all thought y'all was gonna make some money from this Jake Paul fight coming up, but that ain't gonna happen. So, you gotta go ahead and revamp some things, make sure your offer is strong, make sure you can go ahead and do what you were trying to do, because you're trying to take over in all areas. So keep that in mind, people. But to me, I think Netflix, y'all can just stay in y'all lane a little bit, but nothing wrong with evolving. Now, everybody loved that y'all finally coming out with Stranger Things the last season, at least the part 1 of the last season. And it was 6 episodes. Now, I don't really appreciate y'all stretching stuff out like this. Now, this is kind of only like black establishments, but it's kind of like when you trying to get into a little club or a bar and they trying to hold the line, and when you finally get in there, ain't nobody even in there. Like, they trying to create buzz. They trying to create suspense for everybody who passing by, to let people know, hey, they should maybe check this out. But deep down, when you get in there, ain't nobody in there. So I hate that tactic and how people try to market and do business sometimes, but it's a real thing. Now, that's what they doing. They've been doing a lot of things like that, dragging a lot of these TV series out to get more viewership ratings. So, hey, but Stranger Things was pretty cool. It was super strange, though, I must admit. All right, this was super strange things. She's in control of all her superpowers. So I like Elle a lot, but this is weird. I don't know if these kids have really just outgrown themselves and these roles, and that's probably why this is having to really end, because they're having to look a lot younger than they really are in real life. But this just is too weird for my liking right now. But I'm going to keep watching. It was something to watch, when it first came out. I'm not in a rush for the next, I guess, 6 episodes or whatever else they're going to be in the finale. But I'm happy it's finally running its course. And shout out to them. They got a lot of loyal fans. This is filmed in Georgia. I've ridden by some of the areas before, but again, I'm not invested like that. But they have a lot of merch. It's a big following behind this show. And it was a really great show in the beginning, and I just think people just enjoying the ride till it finished. Something else I was able to watch and find, there was this great movie called Sarah's Oil. I don't know what platform it's on, but definitely look into that. A great movie about a young girl who inherited some land, who she believed had oil on the land, and people wanted to take over her land. People didn't really believe at first. Only her, even her family didn't really believe. But over time, people started to understand and take a chance on her and believe that she had all on this land, even though it took a long time to find out if it was true or not. But, just a good little movie recommendation I got for you right now. Now, something else I want to recommend that I saw, that I heard a little buzz about that I had to, finally check out. The Chair Company. Okay. That's also on HBO. Again, that's about to be HBO/Netflix or Paramount. But The Chair Company, it was cool. If you're looking for something to binge watch, 8 episodes, it started off pretty good and then it ended super weird. Okay. Like I said, people stopped caring. Maybe they start losing some money. I don't know. But Netflix probably not going to renew this. I don't know if this going to get renewed. Maybe they need some more people to check it out, but I'm just scrolling around and looking for things that catch my eye when I have a little downtime. And The Chair Company was definitely a decent find if you're not too busy. Now, I told y'all Tulsa King was finishing. I hope y'all caught the season finale. I thought it ended pretty decent. Hey, as long as they renewed the season. So I have no complaints about Tulsa King. And I saw that they have this new spinoff coming out with my guy Samuel L. Jackson. Now, I told y'all Big Sam was coming out looking strong, pause, in Tulsa King on them few episodes. That would let me know that, wow, I'm watching a quality show if he want to also be a part of it. Okay, now you thinking, hey, maybe Sylvester Stallone, he a little washed out here. Maybe he hasn't had some of the best roles. So maybe a lot of people don't want to check it out because of that. But I've seen some of the movies he tried to be in, and they was decent. So I checked out the season early on, and I like what's going on with Tulsa King. But they say they have a spinoff, and it's going to be with Samuel L. Jackson, and it's going to be based in New Orleans. So I'm definitely going to check that out. I did hear that New Orleans is starting to become a little more of a theater hub. They have a lot of film production studios coming up. You have 50 Cent, who's in Shreveport. We don't count that as New Orleans, okay? We count that as Texas, but he's somewhere all the way on the border close to Texas, but that's still Louisiana-ish. And so you never know where they're making these films at, but I'm very happy that, more love and light is being shined in my city. Maybe more money is able to be funded to some locals. I don't know. So if you acting, if you want to be acting, that might be some ways to get in the business, but Samuel L. Jackson in any type of show or movie, I'm definitely watching. So I know if he a part of it, I know it should be pretty solid. I know I'm watching a lot of other trash, so I know I can watch that when that come out. So keep that in mind with what you already watching if you on the fence about checking that out. But I was kind of also on the fence about checking out that new Kevin Hart stand-up, but I definitely gave it a chance. I'm trying to support black people all the time, not just some of the time. I'm not just trying to, oh, well, I guess they look cute today. Oh, wait, that's just me. I mean, I guess, I like what they talking about, or I guess the clip that they gave made me laugh a little bit. I'm trying to support just because they're black. That's it. I'm trying to just get in that space. It's going to take some time for me, as that's not where I've always been. But you have to start somewhere. I'm not the biggest Kevin Hart fan, but I've liked things he's done in the past periodically. Okay. And so, again, I'm not doing anything. I'm not going out my way. I'm not spending any additional money. So I gave it a chance. Now, I will say I didn't understand watching it, and I was super distracted the first time. I couldn't get into it. But I gave it another chance later down the line, and I did realize it wasn't what I was really hoping for. But I thought it had a few moments. And, one thing I want to stress about what he was talking about in his show, in his stand up, was getting older. And he ain't lying. I will say this: older people set you up for failure. Okay. Older people don't care if you learn stuff late because they learn stuff late. Prime example, the trash bags. Why people didn't tell me that you got to flip the trash bag inside out to make the bag be most sturdy. First off, trash bag company, why are you making your trash bags like that? You see how we pulling it out. You know what people really doing. You could have been gave that message I don't believe it's on the box. Not that a lot of people be reading, but if you putting a disclaimer on the box, that's a little more, up front where people could see it. Then people might have understood and learned this a long time ago. Second thing I got for you. This also for the older generation that didn't teach this, probably my people. Hey, why nobody told me I was using the can opener wrong? Okay. Now, I know this wasn't just me. I know this gotta be most of y'all too. I didn't know you supposed to put it on the top of the can, not necessarily the side of the can, and so I've been doing that lately. I gotta remember. Sometimes I forget, but lately I've been remembering a lot more consistent, and I must admit, it's working. So, I'm not struggling as much as these can openers, not that good. But I was thinking I needed to keep buying new can openers, and I was using the can opener wrong. Why they don't have a label? Why they don't say use the can opener like this? No, they want you to buy the automatic can opener, like what y'all done did. A lot of y'all want to be lazy. See, and we just using it wrong. They trying to get your money. But again, you wish you being taught some things after people that made some mistakes, so they show you how to not make the mistakes. So they say, hey, you know what? Something about this, not how you should be doing it. How about you try it a different way and then see if you get better results? See, I be on that. And sometimes you just got to be on that with yourself. Can't keep looking for somebody else to teach you. Are you willing to teach yourself? Are you willing to learn some things? Way too much information out here for us to not be wanting to get better in some areas that we want to be better in on our own and not needing additional help from someone else. But hey, Kevin Hart, I thought it was decent. Like I said, I thought you made some good points about getting older as we do get super fragile. As my back been hurting, lately I've been trying to be in the sauna, so that helps. But I think I need some ice therapy. I also think I need to go to a chiropractor. I think I need to start doing some other preventative things. So I'm going to start looking into those things and utilizing my resources. Did you update your benefits during the time period that was allowed? I did. I looked at some things. I made sure I had all the coverage that was right. I made sure to really check that my numbers wasn't going up too high, okay? Make sure I need to switch. Something a little cheaper, okay? But I definitely put it on my agenda to be able to make sure that I look into stretching more. I look into taking care of all these aches and pains because sometimes it just leads to lingering issues when you get older. A lot of people just be dismissive of things, and next thing you know, that back pain then turned into some surgery. Okay, carpal tunnel in your wrists, your arms, knee surgeries, knee replacements, all kind of things. We're not opposed to what be going on and you seeing in the sports world. You think stuff just happened over there. All it take is a slip and fall. That's all it take. Prime example, there was this 41-year-old lacrosse coach from Siena University. He slipped and fell at his home and died of a brain injury. It don't take much. It don't take much. You're not healing like that. Now, these little kids, they might could slip and fall and recover from some things. And some of them can't slip and fall. Prime example, 16-year-old little girl. I think she was in the Tennessee or Kentucky area. And she was out celebrating her birthday. She was at a trampoline park. They say she was trying to do some backflips. Hit her head somewhere on something. And now she paralyzed. At least for the time being. You never know what God do down the line, but I'm just saying, you don't get but one life. Now, a lot of y'all play a dangerous game. I know a close family member of mine, not as close as used to be, but still close, unfortunately. They had a loved one who passed away a long time ago. Not that long, but a long time ago. While riding an ATV for fun, just having a good time, enjoying life, and passed away from falling off the ATV. Life is too short. It don't take much. I don't know how. You don't know how. We don't know when. But you want to make sure you at least trying to do your due diligence. Is it worth it? I'm going to say no, okay? I'm going to say everything ain't worth it, but I don't think he was doing too much. I'm just saying you got to be careful. I wasn't being careful the other day. I'm about to go and hit up Amazon and see if I could order some more night lights so I could put throughout the house because I need some sensors because I hit my head the other day running into the door, okay? I thought I almost had a bruise on my head. Almost had a concussion of some sort. I don't know. But it was dark. I'm thinking I know my house. I'm moving around, and I guess I didn't see the door right in front of me. Okay, now it was a little tap, not too much, but not what I was looking to feel early in the morning. That's all I want to say. You got to be careful the older you get. If you're trying to be here. Now, if you're just trying to enjoy life, be free and flexible, then maybe you might not be playing it safe like that. It's up to you. You get to do what you want to do. Now, you don't get to control the results. See, that be people problem. People think they could go do whatever they want, with whoever they want, however they want, and everything gonna work out when you ready for it to work out. When you say I'm ready, it's supposed to all of a sudden turn on, and it don't. You got to then start the work that you've been avoiding. Stop avoiding the real work, and then the results will come a lot faster. That's how I go. Stop saying, oh, I'm going to go ahead and distract myself by doing these other things. I'm going to go invest more time in other people's lives versus maybe diving a little more deeper into what I need to be doing. I tell people all the time, I believe you need to be inside a lot more than outside. You ain't working on nothing you got going on if you outside a lot. That's all I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But not too much. Also, not too much. Speaking of getting old, they also had an ex-NBA player who died from drowning. Now, I didn't know this man. His name was Eldon Campbell. He was like 57 or so. He was above my time, so I didn't watch him play. But they say he was pretty decent. Nonetheless, I want to talk about how he died. He died from drowning. Now, hey, look, y'all. You saw Malcolm Jamal Warner die from drowning. Everybody think they could get in that water and do some things. Everybody could be active and be like a little dolphin in the water, Yeah, I don't know about that. I come from the splish splash in the bubble bath, all right? I don't know too much about being in the waters and doing what I want to do. When I'm in the water, I'm playing it safe. Maybe I'm just a safe guy too much. I don't know. But I do know that it's not always worth it. And I don't need to go through it for me to learn some things. I see what other people going through, and I see it's a dangerous game people playing, and that's not how I want to go out. Now, I'm not saying I can't go swimming, but I'm saying maybe I shouldn't go swimming in the ocean. Maybe I shouldn't go swimming in the deep side until I know I'm super confident in my skills. Now, I'm confident enough to save my life, but I'm not confident enough to be around others on the deep side when it's super deep, okay? I could go, a little deep, pause. Well, not that pause, but I could do some things. But my point is, I know my limitations, all right? I know how deep I can go. But sometimes you got to know where you stand at and when it's time for you to move out the way. Now, my guy LeBron, you saw when LeBron went out there and dunked on the Spurs the other night? Nah, no offense to the white boys, but it was a white boy, so I'm going to take a little points away from it, but it was still nasty, all right? It was super nasty, all right? Especially for somebody in their 40s. Dunking on somebody not in their 40s. Keep all that in perspective. A lot of y'all need to go and listen to Mr. Kevin Garnett. He's always trying to tell hating ass Paul Pierce that y'all not appreciating LeBron like y'all supposed to. See, y'all don't see greatness, and y'all not gonna really understand till it's not in front of your face no more. A lot of y'all be hating. No, hater. But a lot of my friends be hating. Every time I be posting something about LeBron, Samad, hater. But a lot of y'all like the Lakers. That's crazy to me. I know a lot of Laker fans. I know a lot of Kobe fans. But y'all don't like LeBron while he owned your team? Crazy work to me. And he brought a championship, but not too much. Not too much right now. Not too much. But y'all define what good really is, okay? Y'all let me know, because I know y'all don't meet the same standard that y'all holding others to. So how y'all able to judge like that? But whatever, like I said, I'm holding my guy to a high standard, all right? And that was a phenomenal dunk. But I can also say, hey, bro, it's looking like it's time to go a little bit. A little bit. Not a lot of it, a little bit. I'm seeing how you need to start doing what Kawhi be doing. You need to start taking some games off a little more consistently, because you're not looking good all the games. Some of the games you're doing decent. I like you pacing yourself. I don't care about you scoring 10 points or not, but I will say, sir, you're looking a little old. You're looking a little slow. You're looking even slower on defense when you making the turnovers, all right? You making some of the bad mistakes in that Spurs loss. Sorry. And they can't tell you nothing. Now, we know you helped JJ get the job. We know you helped AR get some money. All right. We get it. We know you helped with the trade to get Luca. We understand what you be doing. We know your son on the team, even though he doing his thing in the G League finally. He don't need to be doing nothing but on the bench in street clothes, cheering on his daddy right now. Even I like a couple little things, but we need somebody else to help play defense. We just don't need your son, but he could be on the bench. I'm just saying he need to be more like Giannis' brother over on the bench, cheering and stuff. All right, and he be doing some things, but he need to do some more things, hyping up, ready to fight behind some things with his daddy. He need to be doing those things. It's not his time to get in right now. All right, but I do like his growth and how he's developed so far. But hey, Mr. LeBron, it's starting to look like it might be your last year this year. I might need to catch a game somewhere. I'm not going to make too much noise about when I go because we doing too well right now, and I don't want to jinx us. I really want us to at least make the playoffs and not struggle to make the playoffs this year, but right now we've been doing pretty good. I think we need more defense, but hey, Mr. LeBron, I'm going to need you to defer just a little bit more. I like what AR doing, and of course what Luca doing, but they gonna need a little more help, and you not deferring enough. You still be thinking you shooting all them threes, and it ain't as consistent, and your mobility, bro, ain't there like it used to be. You still doing some things, and you still better than most, but I'm seeing a little more of the decline than what I would prefer. Not that you need to leave. I'm just saying change how you play the game. That's it. Don't be like no CP3. I ain't saying none of that. I'm saying, hey, look, you could still play. All right. Now CP3, he don't want to adjust himself. And he's been good, but not that good to keep being so stuck in his ways. They keep wanting to say he the point God, but hey, bro, you got to win too to be talking about godly things. All right. God was not a loser in nothing. So I just want to throw that out there for all y'all thinking y'all godly. All right. He win at all things. So you want to make sure that, you following the suit or at least coming close. But you got to be a little more humble, Mr. CP3. If not, you're going to keep being humble. And hey, look, if this was the first time, I would say I think what the Clippers did was super unfair. All right. But it's not. It's not. This starting to be a super trend, Mr. CP3. A lot of people say they don't like you, bro. They don't like your style. They think you be doing a little bit more than what they are willing to appreciate and value. And you've been on a lot of teams lately these last few years in your career. Now, you thought you could go back to the Clippers. I thought that was a good look, but you didn't humble yourself. You really didn't like being on the bench, especially with y'all losing. You thought you could be a little more helpful. You thought you could vocalize some things, and they didn't like that. Now, Noah say you might have was chit-chatting with Ty Lue later. I don't know. That was the little light rumor. I'm going to share it here first because I ain't hear that. So I'm going to shout out the source because the source, he got a source. But I just want to let you know that's what I heard through who I heard. But he don't be validating nothing, so we not going to run with that, all right? I'm not saying run with that, but that's just what we hearing. But it's more to the story is what we saying. And sometimes when we fed up, we fed up. Sometimes we not doing all that politicking. Sometimes it's time for you to go. Sorry. It's about to be the holiday season, and we just need to change the energy. Me and Noah arguing about finding peace, and I'm like, hey, bro, I don't really think peace something you really get to find like people be thinking they gonna find. And hey, Mr. CP3, you just gotta understand that if you trying to go out and look good while you going out, you might need to be a little more quieter. You might need to play a different role, especially if you can't bring the same value or they're not allowing you to bring the same value. Sometimes you could do more, but they don't want you to do more. What you gonna do then? See, that's what I struggle with. I do a lot. At least I think I do. But when I talk to people, they don't think I do a lot. They don't think I be doing much of anything. They don't value what I think I value the same way. And so that's something I'm working on. That's part of that list for 2026. I don't know what adjustment coming with that, but I know I got to make one because you want people to see what you're doing. You don't need that to be questioned at all. If so, then we working backwards. We need great understanding from all. So CP3, you don't have that. And right now, you don't have no job either. So we saw you was at the semifinals in Vegas. Both your old teams were playing, the Spurs and the OKC Thunder. Now, Wemby back. Wemby best player in the league. I ain't gonna hold you. And I want to shout out the source who I heard say it first. Rashad McCants, Gills Arena, UNC Tar Heel legend. He said it first. He said Wemby is that guy. You know, and I know Wemby that guy, but he was saying it a lot earlier than other people were saying it. And Wemby that guy. Wemby came in there and shut the number one team down by himself. Now, he had some supporting help, but by himself, because when he wasn't in there, they was doing some things, but they really couldn't get over the hump. And soon as he got in, Wemby just came with more energy, his length, pause. We're going to pause, double pause, you know, my length, okay? But he came and he really confused them. He really changed everything they was doing. And it seemed like he also brought more energy to his teammates. So I like that he inspires his teammates, and his teammates support him. They champion him. They know he one of the best in the world. And so I hear all the interviews that they do. They really speak highly about him. They don't want him to ask the team to trade them, all right? So I get that. The Spurs made it to the final against the Knicks, okay? Not the real finals, but, you know, the mid-season finals. And I think it's been great for the league because it's making them boys play a little harder. I think that's great basketball to watch. And OKC lost their second game, and they still going to break the record, okay? So keep that in mind, and you heard it here first as well. Now, somebody else who's been looking kind of old, but who's starting to get their stuff together, myself, all right? My bowling is starting to come together. Now, I'm recording this on a bowling day. I actually have to go bowl a little later today. And last week, I did very well. Not as well as I wanted to do, but I see it's coming. And they had some haters, and I was able to shine through the hate. And I was super proud of myself. So I'm very happy with all the work I've been putting in. This is the last game of the season due to the holidays. We start back up in January. So I'm happy for a little break. As the holidays are coming, and I have a nice trip coming up soon with the kid, but I'm definitely doing a lot better. And it's all due to the work I've been putting in practice. So I just want you to know that if you've been struggling in any area in your life, put in a little more time, put in a little more work. I was telling the homies the other day, you learn the older you get that going to sleep slows you down. You losing time every second of the day. Like, it's not going up, it's going down, okay? So you have to understand that out the gate. And I just had a big revelation maybe over the past month or so that I'm sleeping way too much. Now, I'm losing some rest, all right? But I'm also starting to be a lot more productive the more I don't sleep. So it's weird. You only got 24 hours in a day. And maybe you're trying to do a lot right now, like myself. So I'm always doing a lot. I'm always involved in a lot of things. My life is a roller coaster ride, and I enjoy getting on it. So I just had to understand and realize that the areas that I wanted to be a little more productive in, I had to figure out and find ways to create more time. And the best way I found so far is to, one, be a little more efficient, but also just not go to sleep as much. So I'm going to be putting in a few more late hours, and I'm hoping that the results are going to come through the pod. I want to dedicate more time going forward to the podcast. You know, I'm not trying to outsource as much, and I've just been investing in more technology, investing in more platform support. And so I've been really liking what I've been doing, and I've been able to control the narrative. If you do the work, then you won't have to do all the complaining about what others provide you, and you'll get to keep a few more dollars in your pocket. So keep that in mind. Now, you won't keep everything in your pocket. You still got to spend some money, but maybe you won't have to spend as much. Now, Mr. Steph Curry, I see you investing in your footwear lately. Now I see you're getting every shoe you've ever wanted. You're able to wear whatever you want with no restrictions to whatever shoe deal you have, as you don't have any anymore. Maybe you are soliciting buyers. You're trying to see who wants you right now, and you're bringing back some classics, some Jordans, some Kevin Garnett. I like a lot of them. You bringing some new schools. You got some Anthony Edwards. I like his shoe. Look like a good hooping shoe. Although I'm not hooping right now. But if I ever get me a nice little hoop in the backyard, I might get me some Anthony Edwards. Or if I catch a pair on sale. Again, super on sale. Super duper on sale. Like $50 or less. Like, we're not looking for them at all. But they look super comfortable. They almost look like a shoe you make him wear going out. I know a lot of y'all wear y'all hoop shoes as going out shoes. I think you really only could kind of do that with some Kobe's or some Jordans, but to each. They making some shoes that are low top that are decent. But I'm wondering who Steph Curry gonna eventually sign with. But I really do hope he start his own brand, as he's tried to have some people sign under the Curry brand. He has DeAndre Fox for the Spurs as a Curry endorsed athlete. So, what's going to happen going forward, who knows? But he has a big enough brand to do some things if he want. Now, we're not saying the shoe going to look good, but we didn't say the first shoe looked that good. So I guess it's going to be about money. It's going to be about the business. So good luck to him. Now, somebody else who I want to say good luck to, myself. It's all about me a little bit more in 2026 again. Again, it's been about others, whether they know it or not, but I've not gotten the love reciprocated the way I've liked. So we're going to show a little bit more love to me. And we want to say some good wishes for me in this fantasy football league as we wrap up. The playoffs are here, finally. I've made the playoffs in 2 out of the 4 leagues. I wish it was my big money league, but it wasn't. It's cool though. I still won a few little dollars from them throughout the season. But I still made the playoffs in 2 out of the league. Top 3 seed in both. So 50-50. I'm not complaining about the results at all. Speaking of my Saints, look like we got a quarterback. Don't be picking up another quarterback. I like what this quarterback doing. He did something the last couple games, and he needs some help. Don't keep getting the quarterback and not having no help for the quarterback to play with. I'm just saying, you got a good enough quarterback right now, and at one of those positions, you can get a key piece somewhere else. Cam Jordan not going to be on a team forever. You see Tyrann Mathieu didn't already retire before the season started because he saw it wasn't going to be a good year. Y'all let Shaheed go to the Seahawks, and they doing great things over there. He going to be in the playoffs this year. So I don't know what we doing. Kamara look like he gonna leave, as I heard he sold his house recently. What you doing, Saints? Make some smart decisions. Trade the pick for all I care and get more picks for the value. We need value. We should have got Shador, but y'all ain't want get Shador. Shador would be rocking right now. Everybody would be loving the city right now. But y'all didn't want no black quarterback. You see, they barely want him where he at now. But they having to play him because he doing well. And everybody supporting him but his own organization. At least not the coaching staff for sure. How they don't play him in the final seconds to determine if they could tie the game to go to overtime. I don't understand. He led you down to score. He hustling. He doing most of the work the whole game. Almost 400 yards. They say 4 TDs. And then you take him out the last play of the game. You run some reverse play that didn't even look organized. Y'all setting this young man up for failure. All because you don't like who his daddy is. All because you don't like that he come from good quality household. He got good high standards. And it's like, they don't like you when you got good standards in your life. They want you to do as you told. That's not just celebrities. I just want to let you know, fellas. That's everybody. Everybody, I be on my Grinch vibes, but they be wanting you to do as you told. They be wanting you to be Santa Claus out here, okay? They want to come sit on your lap, and they won't tell you what they want. And they looking for you to be at their door when they say it's time to be at the door. That's it. So keep that in mind while you out here making good decisions. But hey, Shador, you playing through adversity and you shining brightly. I like what's going on. And please stay healthy, sir, so that you can finish the season off so you can show what you can do. Get them a few more victories. Now, don't be out here creating controversy or stemming up hate publicly, all because you're a little more jealous in the world, okay? Now, that's what I feel like Cam Newton doing right now. Now, Cam, I love everything that you stand for. I want to let you know I support everything. But I want to say they got a lot more hate in this right now, a little more jealousy in the fact that you wish you were Phillip Rivers right now. You wish the coach called you out of retirement because you younger and you black and you more athletic and you got more accolades than he do. However, you talk too much. That's it. You be in the limelight for the wrong things since you've been retired. You couldn't keep a job the last few years when you was in the league because they didn't like how you was in the locker room. They know you a better athlete, but right now they want somebody else to be the starter, and they want you to be the backup. And that's their team. They spent the money to have that team, and that's the decision they want to make. And they want you to support that if you own the team. And every other backup in the league played a role when they become the backup. And they just didn't feel like that was something that you was willing to really do without creating more turmoil. Because in your heart, you know you better. And I believe you better too. And I'm not saying you should have to go through that, but I don't get to make the rules for somebody else's team. Now, the coach said they want to go with somebody that they trust, that they already got some relationship with, that maybe been doing nothing but positive things in their life, at least from what's been in the public eye. They ain't been arguing and fighting with no kids, no mascots. They don't have no podcast that they talk about people and express their opinion. They're not currently on the news saying different little things, having to express themselves publicly about some topics maybe not everybody gonna agree with. And so, although that is your right, and although that don't have anything to do with football, you have to know that that will affect people's personal decisions on if they won't be bothered with you or not. And they don't want to be bothered, bro. And you got to respect that. And if you don't like that, then you have to change that about yourself. You accept things or you make changes. You don't keep complaining about it. See, that's my issue with people. Stop complaining. Just like myself. I've been complaining a little bit this year. I don't like how I've been being treated a little bit from a few people. No worries. I have to make some adjustments. But also, I had to look within. I know I need to work on a little more of my tact, my delivery, okay? I know my presentation of some things, my directness, although is beneficial to me, saves a lot of time, keep people who don't mean me well a little more at bay and away. And I like those things, all those things. I do it for those reasons, although there's some other things that come with it that I don't always enjoy. I don't always enjoy the perception that some people have of me and how people sometimes avoid me at times that I'm not always looking for. Sometimes you think you're doing something for certain reasons. You think there's value in it. And you got to also see what also comes with that as well, the good and the bad. And so, like I say in the hoodie, you got to define good. You got to be honest with yourself about what good really exists from the lens of you and others. It's not just how you see stuff. You got to see how you look amongst others as well, especially those you choose to be around. Now, I want to talk about the coach at Michigan who recently got arrested and fired. Seemed like the same day, all due to his own actions. Now, bruh, they said you couldn't fraternize with employees. All right. A lot of people do that. We all done kind of been there like that. Now, you shouldn't be fraternizing with subordinates at all. People on your level. We talked about it earlier in this episode. A lot of y'all don't want to mess with people on your level. A lot of y'all truly think y'all can benefit a little bit more, take advantage of some things a little bit more. Maybe they value you a little bit more because you do some things differently or better than them, i.e., you make more money. Men, you're leading with your money for certain reasons, and I know it. The ladies know it too, ladies, because you accepting it. You like what the men be doing. You really do want the men to lead with their money. You want the gifts. You just hope that some things don't come with it, but it do. That's just the transaction that you're agreeing to a little bit more. And you know it, but you don't want to agree. Now, look, fellas, the ladies change their mind when they deem fit. So keep that in mind. You don't always know what the rules going to be. Me and Noah arguing the other day, having nice quality debates. And at the end of the day, we concluded with they going to make some changes that we can't control. And it's nothing we could do about that part. So you got to find another way around that. All right. So keep that in mind, fellas. Now, the Michigan coach, he panicked. Seemed like he was upset at the lady he was messing around with after some things came out. Now, again, I've been getting some of my news from Noah. I asked him, hey, what you think? He said, hey, that's what I heard, bro. I said, damn, for real? He said he heard that she went and told the whole story to the school. She could have kept her mouth shut and everything been cool. And he went to her house and confronted her. He was mad at her. Now, hey, bro, you got to take some accountability. You got to be mad at yourself, too. Now, again, she played a role, too. I thought it take two to tango a little bit. I don't know why they doing what they doing. I know she accepted that promotion she got when he got his promotion. That's what they said, too. They ain't talking about the benefits she was receiving along the way. Now, Was she qualified? Who knows? They say her daddy was also a coach of some sort in football at some other schools or at the professional level. But she was also a willing participant. But they not giving her too much attention. And hey, bro, that don't give you no cause to crash out. Bro, you won't get some weapons. You won't kill yourself. It's okay to start over. I don't know what's wrong with y'all who have a problem with starting over. If you unhappy, start over. Do something about it first if you can. But if not, start over. Life too short. You ready to take your life versus start over? That don't add up. Y'all not in church enough for me. I don't know what you're believing in, but believe in something so you can know you don't need to do this either. There's somebody else who will love you too. That's all I'm saying. If you got issues at home, figure it out. Work on it. You don't have to just sit in misery. See, that's what I tell all the homies. They say, I know, you got to be quiet. Men don't post to talk at home. The women don't always receive it well. Yeah, but you supposed to be miserable? No. So you supposed to find a way to communicate. You got to find a way to share, and you got to find a way to take what come with sharing it. If she say you ain't right, you got to take that. But it start with you communicating how you feel and seeing if you right about your feelings or not. But nobody, male or female, should have to be quiet about how they feel or just be unhappy or do a lot of things that they don't want to be doing or be scared that when things happen that they can't come from it and that they got to do things harmful to themselves or to others. Because losing your job don't mean you can't get no other job, bruh. You got other good people in your life. You could have went right there over to San Diego, beautiful weather, and was a nice little assistant coach for the Chargers. They gonna make the playoffs. They just beat them Eagles. Shout out them Eagles, but they just beat them Eagles. You was an assistant coach for Harbaugh when he was the coach of Michigan, and then you became the coach after he left. So you going through some things. I'm pretty sure he could have got you a nice little job in beautiful San Diego, where you could have got your mind right, paid you a few little dollars, till you got on your feet, bro. You ain't had to do all that. You panic. Why you panic, bro? Oh, you messing some things up at home, and you upset. Hey, you gotta stand in your shit a little bit more. See, people more so mad at how you handling things. And that's what it is. It's all in how you handle yourself. Make smarter decisions, but we're gonna say some prayers. Another black man now. He wasn't with no black woman. But that don't mean he don't deserve some prayers. Now, this an eye opener right here, bruh. I know you got some family members that said they told you not to go mess with them snow bunnies, all right? It's getting cold, but that don't mean they for you. Sometimes you might think everything for you, but everything not. Stay in your lane. And sometimes God gonna remind you what lane you need to be in. Now, this ain't the reminder you needed, but this the reminder you got. You thought you had love, bruh. She said love don't live here for real. This was transactional a little more than that. So keep that in mind. Now, I also want to say, hey, fellas, do not put your hands on them ladies. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care how mad they make you. I don't care how much they provoke you. Keep your hands to yourself. You're not going to win. You already not going to win, but you definitely not going to win if you think doing anything from a violent standpoint is going to help. It's actually not even going to make you feel good, bro. Definitely don't do none of that. Sidebar, look at Iman Shumpert, another guy crashing out. See, a lot of you fellas be still seeing what your ex be doing out here, and you be a little unhappy. And you be doing your own thing, but you be crashing out too. And you shouldn't be doing it like that, bro. Again, you shouldn't be putting your hands on your wife, but you sure shouldn't be putting your hands on nobody who not your wife, all right? Somebody who you don't have no history with, you ain't did nothing in front of God behind to even say, you know what, I'm that invested enough that I got to express myself in a physical way. But again, still not right. But even more not right to be doing that to somebody who you don't even know. You ain't even invested all the way with like that. So keep that in mind, fellas. Move on. It's okay to just leave, like walk away, come back tomorrow. Don't just be thinking you more right than her all the time. You right, but that's not how you handle it. Men be more right than anything, but you become wrong than everybody based on how you handle yourself. It's all in that part, the presentation. And they be telling us it's in the presentation. And even when you change the presentation, they still gonna give you the same results. But just know you ain't gonna go to jail. So keep that in mind. I don't know what's gonna happen with Iman, but I hope you don't have to go to jail, bro. Now in some more sports news, I love that LSU finally got out the news and got them a coach that seemed like gonna do some things. He already bringing top-notch players, and he already taking some of the coaching staff from his old school. Now, Ole Miss didn't like how he left. They really don't like him at all right now. They wish he would have stayed. It's crazy how somebody could love you today and hate you tomorrow, all because you made a different choice, all because you maybe made a decision a little bit more for yourself. And now all of a sudden the relationship is ruined forever. That's how I go. People want you to do what they want you to do. You can't never pivot as much as you think you can. So definitely be a little bit more aware. But he was aware of what he was doing, and he knew he was leaving to go to a better situation, more money, and more authority, more power. I like what LSU went and did. They went and spent big money. They already got to give Kelly some money because he not there no more, and he's still going to get paid. Now you giving even more money to a coach that's actually doing some work, but at least he was able to retain a lot of the talent and bring in some new talent. I also saw that my old school Tulane made some changes as well. Their coach is leaving to go coach at Florida. I thought that was huge. He just became the coach at Tulane a year or two ago, and he's been doing well, and a lot of changes being made in the college world. A lot of the coaches are moving around. Seem like every coach then changed if they lost. You know, people are tired of losing, and there's so much money going on in the world that they feel like they could pay people to not work anymore and pay somebody else more money so that they can do a better job, hopefully. So I like what's going on. Also, you see, they made the announcement for the college football playoffs. Tulane also made that. The old coach gonna get to coach that. Not that Ole Miss letting Lane Kiffin coach for them. They said, bro, you don't want to be here. We don't want you to be a part of anything. And so, hey, different strokes for different folks. But at the end of the day, I like what's going on for Tulane. It's great to see how they finish the season off, and hopefully they are able to make some noise in the playoffs. It'll be very interesting to see them win it all, or at least get to the finals. So I'm rooting for them the most. But realistically, I would say Indiana looking pretty good. They got the Heisman, and they just beat Ohio State. Although I'm not sure if you can beat Ohio State twice. So it's just going to be interesting to see how it all shakes. Now, I want to say one of my old high schools made the championship game. Shaw, they were playing St. Charles Catholic, and they almost won until they had some issues and some kids celebrated a little too early. This made national news. This was on SportsCenter. They did not win that close game, but at least they was able to get that. But what a tough way to lose, but at least they was able to make it. Also, another big game, maybe the biggest game in high school football in New Orleans. You had St. Aug versus Carr was the defending champions. St. Aug is a beloved high school. That's the high school Noah went to. He was definitely rooting for his old high school. He was hoping they was going to do some things. Now, I was telling them, hey, bro, be a little more realistic, bro. You know, I was like, y'all lost already early in the season to them, and it didn't look that good then. So, I don't know. They undefeated, and they defending champs. So, don't hold your breath. But I saw the city was lit. I saw everybody had on a St. Aug and a call gear. But this was not close, okay? John Johnson Jr., shout out to his daddy who had his son. You know, I know his daddy, not that close, but I know his daddy. We went to high school together. Really good quarterback back in high school days for me. And it seemed like his son is an up-and-coming prospect who we all will soon to know here in the future because he's going to West Virginia. And a lot of those kids from both schools going to really good colleges to play football. I'm glad, you know, the city was lit. A lot of people I knew was out celebrating, showing love, and, you know, seemed like it was great to go. Even me and Noah talked about going out there, but it was a little too close to even be trying to talk about going out of town and spending money to go to some high school football games. Speaking of college and furthering your education, I want to say, what is the world coming to? I don't know what Trump is doing. I don't know what kind of decisions they making that we think this gonna benefit all, but trying to reclassify professional statuses is wrong. I even believe accountants were deemed not professional, but you have nurses, you have educators, you have social workers, I've read, and a lot more of the key positions that go on in the world that helps the world thrive, helps build up the younger generation. And you want to say that they're not professionals now? They can't receive the same benefits and funding and grants and loans. They don't qualify. Again, you see what we're going through. Don't put yourself in the position where you're going to be needing some things because you might be upset. Not that you don't deserve, but don't be mad if they don't want to give it to you. Don't be waiting for handouts. Find another way. Maybe you shouldn't be spending the money on the material things, and maybe you need to start investing in your future a little bit more, or your kids' future. I don't know in what, but find something. Stay away from all the material things. A lot of y'all keep buying all the new stuff, but everybody don't want to invest in themselves to be able to make a few more dollars to do the work. Everybody want the quick work. Everybody want to be on social media and monetize their platform by putting their business out there. Well, it's a lot of couples that I see who are out there who monetize very well. However, you also see the good and the bad, because everybody trying to make big bank off they new kids that they be having. But not everybody have kids easily. Some people struggle to have kids, And what people don't realize, kids don't come when you want it. Kids come when God says it's time for you to have them. So, if you're not under the right premise and the right conditions, then maybe God gonna say it's not the right time. It's just sad. There's a lot of the celebrities or the social media content celebrities that I follow, or that I kind of see some of the videos that I think are pretty cool. But, they also show the good and the bad. And it's just like, is it worth it? Is it worth putting your business out there like that to make some money? Because you're having to share everything about your life, whether you really like it or not. But what are you going to teach these kids? What are you going to tell these kids to go ahead and major in if you're going to allow them to go to school? Are you going to make sure that they got student loans, or are you going to invest in their future early on so that they could get some scholarships if that's what they want to do? Invest in the sports a little earlier. Invest in different hobbies to see what they're talented in a little earlier. But don't just spend it out your own pocket, and don't just let these kids just sit around and play video games all day unless you invested in that. Sometimes you can make some money in that too, they say, but validate that. I can't confirm that. I don't know if that's TV or not, but keep that in mind. Also, we need to invest a little bit more in our kids' safety. Now, I think it starts with our government a lot more. I wish they was worried about the right things, because they need to protect our kids a little bit more. You send them away to school and they're not necessarily safe. You see another school shooting, this time at Brown University. And I got a kid who's turning 16 very soon, who also has ambitions to go to college. And I start to fear for her safety. As I see these things going on, she want to go to great schools. Brown University is a very great school, but you never know when it's your time. You never know when you in the wrong place at the wrong time. All you can do these days is prepare your kids, make sure that they listen, make sure that they're around, make sure that they pay attention to their surroundings, make sure that they don't trust everyone, make sure that they trust themselves more than they trust others, and that they can always call home for help. You got to let them know that you are always a resource, no matter how far you are. But in these situations, there's nothing you can do. So we just want to say prayers to, I believe there was 2 victims who died and some others that was injured. But again, maybe kids don't need to go to school. I don't know. But they definitely need to fix some of these things. And in my opinion, the root of the problem are guns, and if we change how people can utilize guns, how we penalize those who have guns just for fun, I believe then you take all this away. But people don't want to do that. People say you have rights and freedom to do whatever you want with guns, and then you're going to keep having these type of issues because people are able to keep getting guns. And you're going to have a lot of people who do wrong with guns than who do right. So it's sad. This is the world we live in, but different choices can get different results. Also, some more sad news. You see, 2 National Guards also got shot. I believe that was in D.C. What are we going to do to protect our own? What are we going to do to finally stop going through the same type of issues that we go through, seem like every few weeks, every few months, definitely every few years? It's not stopping, and if anything, it's just getting worse. It's being more frequent. But again, this is the world we live in, and you see the people you electing aren't worried about it as much. So I get it. You can't make other people care about it more than you. So what are you willing to do? Now, I told y'all I got a 16-year-old coming real soon. I'm nervous. She getting older. These kids are already bigger than us, or at least just the same size. They wear the same shoe size as us. They wear the same clothes size as us. Everything you buy for you, if you want them to participate, just know it's the same price. I don't know how a lot of you ladies be dating y'all kids like that, because y'all don't want to pay for y'all man, but y'all pay for the kid. It's the same money. I don't understand how you could kind of do that. But nonetheless, it is what it is. These kids didn't ask to be here. And I got to do big things for this 16 birthday. And I still got to pay for some things because I ain't paid for everything. But I know what I'm going to do. And I'm not going to tell you yet, but I might show you a picture or two when the time comes. If you're following your boy on social media and if you're subscribing to YouTube, you're going to hear the updates. We might even do some live recordings from where we at. That's the plan. Hopefully we can utilize the time and make some time for ourselves while we also making some time for her. She don't want to be bothered with us all the time anyway. See, that's the thing you hate. You spending all this money and they don't even like you the same as they did when they was babies. That's why everybody keep wanting to create new babies, because they miss those moments. They miss when they listened and they was quiet and they went to sleep when you told them to go to sleep and stuff like that. But then they don't listen as much because they don't understand. But then you learn, even when they understand, they still don't listen. But it is what it is. We doing a big trip and we doing a big gift, and I'm hoping to get in and out very quickly. Because recently I've been going around to all my stores, all where I like to shop at, and I haven't been seeing good deals. So I'm just going to buy quality, and I'm not going to buy volume. Because you think they offering you some deals right now, they're not. So be creative in your gift giving these days. Now, I was talking to one of my friends recently, and I was telling them how you need to shop on Amazon, because Amazon is a place where you can return. See, that's the key about them. They're just like Walmart. They don't question the returns, and they give you options on where you can return. So if you don't like it, you can bring it back. See, that's what you want. You're scared about buying online because you might not like it. Well, Amazon allows for some flexibility. However, it's something about Amazon lately I have not been liking. I do not like that y'all allow y'all drivers to use their own vehicles to bring the packages to my house, because they come in at all times of the night and it's regular cars. Sometimes these people might even pull up in your driveway, then walk up to your house with their hood on and music blasting loud, and you truly don't know who they are. Now, luckily, I got that good spotlight ring camera that's going to shine bright dead in your face, let you know that, hey, you are being recorded. And guess what? In 2026, for my neighbors who listen to the pod, I learned that too recently. I'm going to start having the ring camera start say you are being recorded. Just cause a little bit more. I don't know why. I just want, you know what I mean? I just want to let people know, remind people sometimes. And also let the Amazon drivers know, let people know who coming up to the door, what's going on. I know they see the cameras, but sometimes during the daylight, the light don't shine, and maybe they might not be paying attention. I want them to be reminded that we not on no bullshit this way, okay? We always on Grinch vibes all year round. I know y'all think it's just the holiday season, but ask about me a little bit, they'll say he be like this. But they had this guy come to the door recently trying to solicit. Now, again, another benefit of these Ring cameras, I was able to talk to him from my phone. I didn't even need to get up and go to the door. A lot of y'all won't be friendly. I'm not that friendly. I wasn't looking for nobody to come. He had an iPad in his hand. I knew he was selling something. He was promoting something. I said, "Hey, sir, how can I help you?" He said, "Hey, yeah, I'm looking to talk about some benefits." I said, "Hey, sir, we don't need any of those things." And he started to ask a few more questions, and I gave him the cold shoulder, and then he respectfully left. But this ain't the time to just be going up and walking around the random houses and selling stuff. Now, I'm gonna be walking around to the bowling alley today trying to sell some bowling shoes. That's what I'll be doing. I'll be selling on Poshmark and Marketplace a little bit. My little side business. But I'm gonna go to the bowling alley since it's our last day of the season, of the winter season, and I'm gonna try to see if I get my little hustle man on and flip some of these shoes I got. But hey, bro, you can't come to my house if I'm not asking for it. But I was somewhat polite. He ain't like it, but I was somewhat polite. But what are you gonna get people this year? My mama liked what I had got her for her birthday, but you see, it seems like after you buy somebody a gift, it's time to buy them another gift right after. I can't help that. Her birthday in October and then Christmas soon after, but now I'm guessing she probably gonna want something for Christmas, and I'm unsure. But I did remember hearing that she wanted to taste some oxtails. She's never had that before, she said, and I might try to find a way to make that happen for her. Not that I plan on cooking it, as I don't plan on eating oxtails, as we still bringing in the pescatarian vibes with a side of bacon in 2026. We not changing the dietary foods. We like what we doing this way. It's working well. When you find something, stick with it. Stop trying to add new things. Stop trying to try the new stores, the new places that keep coming up. You don't need to keep trying the new recipes, okay? You don't have to keep doing that. I understand everybody keeps seeing the trends. Everybody want to be hip. It don't matter. Do you stay with what you like that's working? That's where you're going to find the consistency in your other areas, especially in your meal prep areas, all right? 2026, we are meal prepping, okay? Everybody ain't got time to be cooking every day, but people definitely don't have time to be eating out. So you need quality food, you need variety, meal prep. Find you a day where you got more time and cook your food at home. Find a way. Pre-season your stuff. I don't care what you need to do. Get your air fryer. That's easy work. If you want to make something fresh, prep it and put it in the air fryer the day you want to eat it. So there's many ways to be better prepared, but in 2026 we can't keep making the same mistakes. We say this every year. Y'all say it every year. I mean, I keep making the adjustments for myself, but y'all keep saying the same thing. Y'all gonna keep working on this. Y'all gonna keep going to the gym. Y'all gonna keep getting better, but y'all don't. Y'all have one strong month. The month of January, y'all be the blackest y'all gonna be because of Martin Luther King, and y'all actually go to the gym a few more days than y'all ever went the whole year. Hey, look, skip January. Start now, okay? You gonna hit us about 10 days before Christmas get here and about 16 days before the end of the year. Go to the gym now. Don't wait till January. People at the gym don't want to see you. They are dreading this time every year when the new folk come in, acting like they doing something. The machine's gonna be packed right after work. You gotta find you a new time to go to the gym. See, if I go, I might have to go and catch the late night time. See, that's what we might start doing going forward. It's already gonna be cold, so I don't really like going to the gym and then leaving the gym after sweating and then walking into the cold weather. But you might beat the rush if you go a lot later in the evening. So keep that in mind. But everybody about to be on the same stuff. New year, new me. And it's coming. It happens every year. But actually make it count. Actually make it be worthwhile for yourself. Stop saying stuff. Stop saying what you're going to do. Finally do it and stop waiting on it. Create your list and start applying things right now. Now, fellas, I see on your Christmas list, a lot of y'all got them quarter zips since they coming back. I was out recently and I saw all the OGs with the quarter zips on. I saw a few YNs, but I saw all the OGs with the quarter zips. Now, hey, look, OGs, this ain't for you. All right. I know you like whatever little trend and you thought you could kind of fit in with this, but I'm gonna let you know that I don't think this is all the way what you need to be on. Just keep doing what you was doing, staying in your lane. You don't need to follow the trends, all right? Another thing, This something I noticed for myself a little more than not. But it's also applicable. Men, we can't dance to the songs out in public anymore. I'm noticing it more the older I get, mainly for myself, as I'm just catching myself ready to hit a move or two, and I'm looking around and seeing not too many people hitting the moves, all right? And I'm just feeling a little weirder the more older I get. And I'm watching other guys in the club a little more dance to some of the songs, and they looking super weird, and I'm like, man, I hope I don't look like that. So I just want to say, fellas, it was probably never cool to dance in the club. All right. I know some of the ladies let us get away with it. And just know it was because maybe you look cute. That's what I'm going to say why I got a little light pass. But I want to say I probably was being judged a little bit from some. You know, not that I was told, but deep down, the way I'm judging myself and how I'm about to hit a move, yeah, I really think I was being judged back then too, a little more. But I'm just saying, fellas, be careful, and I don't think it's worth it. Hey, fellas, let's just leave the dancing to the ladies, and let's just, in 2026, get back to getting on some ass in the club. That's what it's about. You know, you bring your ass if you in a relationship, right? First off, we shouldn't even be going to the club. First off, 40 and up, all my 40 and up people. No more clubs. No more bars, for real, for real. No more lounges, really. Kickbacks, 2026. We hanging at somebody's house, drinking inside where it's safe and a little more reasonably priced. I was out with my bowling partner recently, and he ordered a double shot of Don Julio. And the young lady came back with the receipt, and it was a $49 bill. And she had $8 gratuity already included. You do the math. It wasn't that big of a shot. It didn't come with no ice. He still had to add some ice. $49. He took it on the chin. Pause. But that's what the game is coming to right now. Now, I think you can get a full bottle of Don Julio for $49. So I know I was real cheap with how I was drinking and what I was drinking, even with what I was buying for myself. But in 2026, I want to let everyone know that if I'm out and about, we still own that house. But at home, we going to up our quality a lot more. We're not going to drink as much, but we're going to up our quality a little bit more, I believe. We're going to have some more names, you know, not just that off-brand price stuff. We're going to have some of that, but we're going to have a little bit more options, and it's gonna be for ourselves a little bit more too. So nobody else gonna really know. So keep that in mind. We still defining what good is, and in 2026, we still working on ourselves. Now, I told y'all, you know, I don't just wear this color green and like embracing being a Grinch for no reason. You know, I think I'm a sweetheart. All right. But others don't always think I'm being sweet. You know, some people think I'm a little more sour than sweet. They think I'm a little more of a Sour Patch Kid. You know, you don't really know what you're going to get. They really be checking the temperature when they come around me, male and female, family and friends. And so I want to change the narrative. Like I said, that is big this year on my list of what I want to do differently in 2026. You know, first, I know I need to embrace these gray hairs. I don't know what happened in between these episodes, but the last episode, Jamie, my other good homeboy who be hating too, he reached out and said, hey, bro, I saw them gray hairs shining bright, but he got tons of gray hairs. So, you know, again, they don't help you prevent the gray hairs. They just talk about you when you join the club. So, yes, I've received them, but when he said it, I didn't really notice it. But lately, I don't know if he jinxed me or not, but I really been seeing them shine brightly this way. And I'm going to embrace it. I will not be a part of the community who dye their hair. I will not be a part of the community who don't embrace being bald. See, fellas, you got to embrace. You can't be trying to hold on to something that you no longer have. You see how they got T.I. out here looking. Nah, I won't let y'all know, fellas. The ladies already know that you ain't got that good haircut if you got that hat on. Or if you wearing that hood. Hold up. Wait a minute. I don't want you to think your boy ain't fresh, okay? Every time I come on here, I know you be looking, so I want to give you something to look at. All right? I want to make sure we shiny this way, okay? I really only shave for the pod. I shave to come to the basement and talk to y'all. I don't even be shaving for real to go out. But I do know that the ladies know that when you wearing that hat and you don't take that hat off, that hairline ain't looking like what it's supposed to be looking like. Maybe them bald spots shining too. Just like you wouldn't think we supposed to see T.I. with them bald spots way from where we saw it at, but they zoomed in kind of close and they wasn't that close. And you could see everywhere it was missing some hair. You know, I don't know what you're going to come out and say, T.I., but it's time to let some things go. And that's what you learn, ladies. Well, you already know you've been hiding it a little bit too, but that's what you learn, fellas. All people doing is you designing the hairstyle to hide a little bit more where, you know, you don't have as much hair. So I get that. I've tried a few times and then I've had to let it go. I had some haters around who be letting me know, you know, they be hating. You know, you got to keep you some haters around to really know if you're doing something or not. And I know I don't be doing what I think I be doing sometimes because I'm always reminded. They always holding me accountable because I be holding them accountable. So I appreciate it. Now, to wrap up some of my New Year's resolutions, you know, again, you got to have some things on your list. You got to look at where you're trying to go, what you didn't like the year before, and what you're trying to do differently to hopefully get you some new results. So I look within every year. You know, I've been doing this maybe the last 10 years or so, really trying to hold myself accountable to try to get better results for me. You know, again, on the list, I want to treat myself a little bit more, not necessarily in the material things, although we definitely got them gammas, baby. We got them 11s. Now, I don't come out of retirement often. If I'm buying a shoe, usually it is from the outlet. And to be honest, I don't do that anymore. I have enough shoes in my closet to last me forever. However, every now and again, something catch my eye. Just like them Carolina Blues caught my eye last year, and I still haven't worn them. But I was happy that I was able to get the black pair. The Gammas. I don't even remember them name that, but that's what they called, and I got my pair. Shout out to me for being up and on time. I'm not waiting in lines anymore. I saw they was kind of trying to do some more of that, and luckily they didn't have too many crime activities associated, at least that was publicized. But you still see a lot of people didn't get the shoes. So I'm only going after shoes that I could try to get from the couch, from at home. All right. I'm not getting in lines. I'm not going to the stores early in the morning no more. I've been there, done that. I started some of that, you know, or I was at least a part of the initial wave of a lot of that back in the day. So I don't live in the past anymore. I'm moving forward. I'm moving into Unk status. I'm just trying to be fine Unk around here, okay? I won't be Unk that's floppy looking, not handling his business from the outer self and within, because you got to go to the doctor to make sure you also handling your business for real, not just from what it looked like. A lot of y'all just won't look good. You got to make sure your finances are really good. I'm out here trying to take a few steps backwards, save a little bit more to make a few steps forward. Keep that in mind. Invest in yourself. That's something else I'm going to do this year a little bit more. I don't know exactly how, but the goal is to invest in myself. I started the episode off by letting you know that new tattoo coming soon. I got a couple ideas I didn't already narrow down to the guy I want to do it. Now I'm waiting on him to have a special. He don't know that. Yeah, he don't listen to the pod, but just know I'm waiting for him to have a deal, and then I'm going to capitalize on that deal. I'm hoping that I get a great piece to add to the collection. So I'm definitely ready. I've already put the money to the side. See, that's what you got to start doing. Everybody wants something and not ready for it. I'm already trying to get ready so that when the opportunity presents itself, I don't have to question if it makes sense or not. See, me and my mom was having a good conversation the other day, you know, about buying houses. And if you can or if you cannot, when is the right time? And I'm like, you won't question if it's right or wrong. You won't wonder if this price fits in my budget or not, or if I have enough for the down payment or not. You're going to have enough because you're going to have more than enough. You're going to have more than what the monthly payment is. And then that's when you're going to know it's the right time and the right decision. But it's not going to be the right time because somebody came and knocked on your door. You're going to have to start putting some things in place. Start saving some money so that you can start doing some things. Now, maybe you're waiting on somebody else to come along the way to help out. Now, if you do, I'm just letting you know, I hope you got some room for whatever they got to bring that come with that too. Because see, people thinking, oh, I just going to have, because people thinking they going to have somebody who just going to bring some money. They going to have their own opinions though. And I promise you, they're going to have some bumps in the roads. You're not going to agree with everything that they going to want to do. So you're going to have to compromise in maybe some things that you maybe have wanted. And you're not going to be wanting to do that. So keep that in mind. But I'm definitely looking forward to the new year. I'm knocking on wood, hoping to make it to the new year. I'm grateful and thankful for every day. Everybody don't wake up every day. So don't take it for granted. Definitely appreciate your time while you're here. Definitely don't stress over the things you cannot control. Be good to others, but don't be too good to others where you're not being good to yourself. Happy holidays, and make sure you define what good really is to you.
I can't do it, then it ain't real. I just make dollars, I don't make deals. I've been going hard in the paint, still blowing kush clouds till I can't feel like. Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like. 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like. 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right?